So we have ethanol, which is C2H5, can be made by fermentation. So we have ethanol, which is C2H5, OH can be made by fermentation. Complete the chemical equation for formation of ethanol by fermentation. So ethanol can be formed by fermentation, like from glucose. So the glucose will decompose anaerobic respiration. As a result, it produces ethanol plus carbon dioxide. And we have to balance the equation. So we have total, if we put 2, the hydrogen is balanced because 5 plus 1, 6 multiplied by 2, 12. And if you put 2, so the carbon is also balanced. So 4 plus 2, 6 and 6. So total are 6 carbon atoms, 12 hydrogen and 6 oxygen. State 2 conditions required for fermentation. What are the 2 conditions which are required for fermentation to happen or occur? What we need for fermentation? What are
Sir,
the
absence of oxygen and optimum
Hmm.
temperature.
Yeah, optimum temperature? So you have to, there are few conditions, you have to learn these conditions and mention here. As you can see, that any 2 you can write. You can write 37 degrees centigrade. You can write anaerobic means like absence of oxygen. You can mention glucose in aqueous and there should be yeast. So any out of this 4, you can write any 2 of them. Okay. So you have to, again, it is related to memorizing, learning. So try to memorize these reaction conditions. So as they all in the marking scheme, 37 degrees centigrade is there, and in anaerobic condition or we are using yeast, any 2 you can write. Ethanol can be made by catalytic hydration as well. Like we can use ethene plus steam will give ethanol. Name a suitable catalyst for this reaction. So what is the suitable catalyst we need for this reaction? We need nickel as a catalyst for this reaction. The next is calculate the mass of ethanol that can be made from 56 gram of ethene. So if we need the mass of a compound, we can use a mass ratio. If we need a moles, we can use a mole ratio. What is the mass of ethene? According to equation, 2 carbon atoms. So 12 multiplied by 2, 24 plus 4 hydrogen, so 28. So this is 28. And what is this total mass? Carbon is 12 multiplied by 2, 24 plus 6 hydrogen, 30 plus 16, 46. So 28, if we have 28 gram of ethene, according to the mass, it will give 46 gram of ethanol. But if we have 56 gram of ethene, how much ethanol will be there? X. We just cross multiply like it will be double. It will be 92 grams. So when the mass equation is given and the mass is given, so we use a mass ratio. If the moles were given, then we'll take the moles ratio. Ethanol can be oxidized to form ethanoic acid. Name a suitable oxidizing agent. What is the oxidizing agent used for this reaction? There are 2 oxidizing agents. We can use potassium manganate 7 or we can also use potassium dichromate 6. So here we normally use potassium dichromate 6. Don't forget to write the oxidation number if you want to convert the alcohol into a carboxylic acid. This is an oxidizing agent. A molecule of ethanoic acid is shown. We have to complete a dot and cross diagram. If it's a single line, it means there's a pair of electron. And it's a dot and cross. If one you use dot, the other one will dot cross. If it's a double line, then there will be 2. If it's a single line, again 1. Now unshared electron, because oxygen belongs to group 6, so group 6 share 2 and unshared will be 4. Here also shared 2 and unshared will be 4. So that's how you complete dot and cross diagram. For hydrogen does not have any unshared, same as for carbon as well.
Sir,
Yes,
sir, if we don't write the four other electrons of oxygen, do
you will
we
lose
get
one mark. You
less
will
mark?
lose, yes, you will lose a mark. Like 1 mark is for showing the hydrogen, one and like 1 mark is for representing the lone pair of these oxygen as well. And 1 mark is for carbon electrons. So it's not like you will lose all 3 marks, it's you will lose only one of or one out of these three. Ethanoic acid is a weak acid. When referring to an acid, what is meant by the term weak acid? So how we define the term weak acid? Weak acids ionize partially. How could you show that ethanoic acid is a weak acid and hydrochloric acid, then hydrochloric acid? So what we can do, if it's a weak acid, we'll take equal concentration of the two acid. We can add carbonate and measure the volume of the gas in unit time. Because weak acids ionize partially, so they react slowly. So the rate of reaction of ethanoic acid will be slower than hydrochloric acid. That is one thing. Another thing, like it's not that this is a fixed answer. You can also write, you can do electrolysis as well, passing the current. So when you when you pass the current through hydrochloric acid, it's a good electrolyte. So it conduct electricity. So the lamp, if we can attach a lamp with this electrolytic cell, it will be brighter as compared to that of ethanoic acid. Another thing, you can add a metal, like example calcium, you can add, and it will release hydrogen gas. So you can compare the rate of formation of a bubble fizzing. If it's a rapid fizzing, it means it will be hydrochloric acid, like strong acid. But if it's a weak acid, it will react slower. A carboxylic acid react with an alcohol to make an ester. Draw the structure of a carboxylic acid and alcohol which make up this structure. Look, how to identify? First thing, you always try to identify the name of the ester. Then you can identify which alcohol is this. So first we identify the name. The part which is attached with single bonded with oxygen we name first. And the part which is attached with double bonded with oxygen we named it second. How many carbon atoms do you see with the first part?
Sir, butyl propanoate.
Good. Because the structure name is same for ester. So it has 4 carbon atoms, so it will be but, and 3 carbon atoms, it will be prop. So which carboxylic acid is this? Prop. It's a propanoic acid. So it will be propanoic acid, 3 carbon atoms are there. This will have 2 hydrogen and this will have 3 hydrogen. Because the second name is always from carboxylic acid. The first name is from alcohol. So which alcohol? 4 carbon atoms are there. So it will be butanol. So name the carboxylic acid. The second name is always from the carboxylic acid. So propanoic acid. And this will be 4 carbon atoms. So it will be butanol. Okay. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. So these are some questions related to organic chemistry.